Alright, let me get into a little more of the complicated areas of tables. This is messing with the cells, the columns, the rows. I got those different selections based off if you click to the very leftmost spot of that table, kind of on the border, you get this little arrow popping up, and once you click, you get that whole row selection. The same kind of applies to the columns, just anywhere on the topmost part of the column you're wanting, look for that little arrow and then click, and you get that whole column selection. Now, based on what you're wanting to do, you might want to change up an individual cell, and I can do that two ways. The first way that might be complicated for you, you can right-click in that cell and go to Format Cells at the very bottom over here. Now you kind of get this long list, so that might be annoying for you. There's a quicker way, maybe. If you go to, well, first click in your cell that you're wanting to edit, and then go to Format Cells. Now I got some options here. Some of these might affect the whole row, and some won't. Now this affects the whole row, but you can see it's kind of a padding on the bottom of these, and then it's only a padding on the top and bottom of that first column. So you really might want to avoid using this kind of padding and just go for the regular cell padding from when you're actually formatting the whole table. Then you can do column widths. This is only going to affect the column that you've selected, or whatever cell within that column. Now the borders, it'll only do the bottom and then the right of whatever cell you've got selected. So, I mean, it really probably won't even look too great. Let's say avoid using borders in that form. And then you can do background colors, which is actually kind of useful. So I made mine orange. Now let's say you want to do kind of a row header kind of thing with a background color. So I've selected the leftmost spot of that row, and then I've got that whole row selected with the blue on it. Then right click, really you can right click anywhere into it and go to Format Cells, or again go to Format Cells from this drop down. Now this will affect the whole row, so this is a little different. You can do a background color. I'm going to go with a kind of I'll just go with a great, wonderful pink. And then I'm going to do a thicker border on the bottom. I mean, that looks pretty horrendous to me, but it's just an example of maybe something you shouldn't do. And try to stay within the boundaries of keeping things looking legible and just nice to look at. That's about as complicated as cells get right there. I mean, you can do the same with columns, change up the backgrounds, but that's about how that goes. There's also There's also the table insert drop down over here where you can insert more columns. You can insert more rows. Depending on where you've got your selector, that's where it's making the difference. Because if you want a certain row after this pink row, then you got to select within that row and go to Insert Rows After. And now I've got two wonderful pink rows. Oh my God. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to get rid of this. And we're going to go on to the next tutorial. So, there we go. My eyes are better.